Your reaction?
This is the excitement the IPO market has needed. There have only been 3 venture-backed IPOs since 2021. Astera Labs popping significantly, which, this is after already pricing above their revised range. They kept revising it higher because there was so much demand from institutional investors. And so the fact that Astera Labs roadshow went really well it proves that there is investor demand for the right companies for tech IPOs right now.
And the reason that it's so well liked is, well, it developed semiconductor-based connectivity solutions. Basically, this is about AI, Katie. And do you think, therefore, we are needing to have this element of AI to get investors really excited at the moment?
Yes, that's what it seems like. This is definitely an AI-related company. They're in chips. And, that's been something that's drawn more excitement back to tech again. Obviously, 2022 was rough, and then 2023, people started to get more excited about AI. And now in 2024, we're seeing this make it to Wall Street and IPOs, and there's a lot of excitement there.
Let's get to the other technology IPO due in the next 24 hours. Reddit. Sources are telling us that we're looking at the top end of the range. The range was $31 to $34 a share, which on a diluted basis values Reddit $6.4 billion. What do we know?
So, technically hasn't priced yet, but we're already hearing positive indications about where it will price. They're riding off of the excitement from Astera, which helps, excited investors for tech generally. And, they saw how the market was trading today, and they're thinking already that this could go well. Technically, it doesn't get priced until after the bell, but, already it's looking positive for Reddit.
Yeah, it's got to be music to some of the banks' ears when we're at record highs and in the days before, the IPO being led by Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America. Katie, this is a name that people have anticipated coming to the market for so long. How is some of the allocation going to the Redditors themselves? Because they want to ensure that their community is supportive of them going public.
That's right. They're allocating shares to some of their top Reddit users. And, the way this works is normally it's just Wall Street that gets access at the IPO price. Normally, an average retail investor can only buy after it begins trading on the first day, and they don't have access to much of that pop that we see. And so this is a way to kind of gift that to some of their top users. We have seen this with a couple of other consumer-facing IPOs now, but this is part of that trend.
I think what's interesting about Reddit is a relatively complicated history. Founded 2005, had a Y Combinator as well, then bought by Condé Nast very quickly, spun out 2011, and as Kara pointed out, we've been waiting a long time. There is also how this IPO is going to work. So some of the shares to insiders and staff, some of them to Redditors themselves. How does that impact the mechanics?
Sure. So, what we saw in this was that we had smaller than usual stakes for some of the institutional shareholders like venture capitalists. And that's part of that, because they were spun out of Advance, the Condé Nast parent. The founders had really small stakes, less than 5% for them. And that's not something we typically see at the time of an IPO. But this is a company that's going public after being around for 19 years. That's really, really long for a startup to IPO. But again, this is technically the second exit for Reddit because they were sold in the early days and then now spun out.